not so much the role, but the purpose of a woman is the same as the purpose of a man, and that is to know their Lord before they die. And that is why they were created. And everything else is incidental. That is the essential purpose of a human being, is to have a direct relationship with the Creator of the heavens and the earth. And if they're told anything else, it's a lie. If they're told that their main role in life is to have children, that is a lie. Children are a path to God, and they're a powerful path, and children are spiritual teachers. Children are teachers. They teach us. And they also remind us about a purer world, a purer state, and a state that our souls were once in. But I would say that the purpose of a woman is the purpose of a man. It is to know and worship God.
How much of an impact does our cultural heritage as women have on our identities today? How much does culture play in our identities?
Well, the nature-nurture argument, I think that nature and nurture are both working together. Environment has a massive impact. If you grow up in Sri Lanka, you'll enjoy listening to a certain type of music that most Americans would have a really difficult time listening to, and vice versa. A Sri Lankan would be horrified at what people listen to in Los Angeles. But, well, that's changing due to global pressures. But there's no doubt that culture plays an incredible, has an incredible impact. And the stories of a culture. In our culture, I was raised as a Christian, and in the Christian culture, we're taught that Eve basically is the cause of the fall of man, which is alien to the Islamic belief, but it's central to the Christian belief, and this is why many Christian women or post-Christian women have abandoned Christianity, because they don't like the idea of praying to a father. They don't like the idea of a male God. And this is something that is alien to Islam. Islam has no understanding of a male God. God is beyond male and female. God's attributes are exalted beyond human attributes. We don't anthropomorphize God. God is called a king in the Quran, Malik, which tends to be a male attribute, but he's also called Al-Wadud, which is the word for a loving wife. He's also called Ar-Rahman, which is the merciful, coming, and the word for womb is derived out of that word, Rahman. So the Muslims have always understood that there are what are known as Jamali and Jalali attributes of God, beautiful and majestic, and they've always seen them in terms of that women are a manifestation of divine beauty, and men are a manifestation of divine majesty. And outwardly and inwardly it's reversed. Inwardly, women have divine majesty as the attribute that's manifesting in them, and inwardly men have divine beauty. That's the way it's supposed to be. I mean, these are healthy. I'm talking about healthy cosmological understandings when people are living as Adamic people. But one of the things that can happen to human beings, according to the Quran, is they can be reduced to lower than animals. And you see it out there. Look at human beings out there. Look what there's a billboard now for a movie that shows a man with holding onto the tail of an elephant, and it's the whole idea that human beings are animals. Who's telling them that? And what do they have behind that?
Hollywood is a whole other program, I think, because
Hollywood is, I think, they say artists are the antennae of society. Hollywood is letting us know where we're going. They're a symptom. Hollywood is not the disease. Hollywood is a symptom. The fact that we have allowed these things to permeate our consciousness.
How do you think we have allowed that to happen?
Well, Hollywood can't exist if people don't buy the tickets to their films and watch the programs and buy the corporate rubbish that the people that own them sell.
Do you think that if Muslims became more involved in Hollywood that things could change?
No, I think it's a horrible thing. Hollywood will change them. They won't change Hollywood.
American Muslim women are beginning to pick up a momentum of being more involved in the public arena, to have their voices heard. And you may see this as our wish to become more like men. However, is it wrong to be seen in the public eye if our intention is to do good for the ummah?
Well, I mean, you're putting those words into my mouth. I wouldn't see it as becoming more like men. I think women have responsibility. In fact, I personally believe that if women don't have indignation about what's happening to their children, about what's happening to their societies, and if that indignation does not motivate them to literally do some serious measures, to take serious measures to enact a change, then things will get worse. I think that women have immense power and immense potential to do good and to be a transformative element in society, and women are half the human condition, and there needs to be more female influence on the world. I think part of the problem with the world is that there's been too much male dominance, too much male influence, and it's had a very unhealthy impact. We call the earth Mother Earth, and that's not a Western idea, that's actually an Islamic concept as well. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in a hadith in Tabarani said, "This earth is your mother." And I think the fact that raping and pillaging of the earth, which is going on right now all over the planet, is symptomatic of aggressive male energy. And that if that male energy is not tempered by the humanizing element of the female, of the mother, of getting the milk of human kindness, that we will continue to do this until we destroy the viability for human life on the earth. And I think that the criminals behind that will be men. They will not be women, unless we see women as complicit in the crime by their silence. So I don't believe that at all. I think women have to do something, and I think there's signs of that. I think that there's women in this culture that have done extraordinary things. We have a history of women, not just in the West but in the Muslim world. There's a beautiful story of an Andalusian woman. She was a poet who was so distressed by the tyranny of a governor in her province that she wrote a poem to the caliph. And in the poem she said, "What do you say about a shepherd who's eating his flock?" And the poem was so powerful, she sent it through a messenger to the caliph, and when he read the poem he was moved to tears, and he actually went to that city and ascertained indeed that the governor was oppressing the people, and he removed him, and that was from the poem of a woman. That is a beautiful display of political dissent at the highest levels, and shows you the sophistication of the people, not just the men, but the sophistication of the women, to actually protest in poetry, and to have that poetry move the ruler to the degree that he would do something, was a testimony to what type of people they were.
Let's talk a little bit about issues where women seem to not have as much power, as you could say.